the original one.
Oh, really?
I think so, yeah. But I don't know. What do you think of Stone?
It's
Do
okay.
you have the copy of Stone?
No, I gave it back to you.
Oh, Lord only knows where it is.
Yeah. Do you even have a DVD player?
Yeah, maybe.
Somewhere?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's besides it having some of the guys from it, it's
Well, that's it.
you know, I mean, it's set in modern times. It's a biker movie.
Okay.
So
yeah, I wonder if there was a
it's
original. Yeah, I don't know. I still think that Road Warrior is probably my favorite one. And like I say, I think
they really could have just stopped it too.
I think
I saw a Quentin Tarantino thing today. He was talking about trilogies and how you know it's really he's like you know the first one's okay, second one they kill it, third one usually sucks. And he brought up you know the Mad Max trilogy, which I thought was funny.
Yeah. All right. Hey, everybody. It's Matt, and we're at Texas Toast Guitars. Today, we're talking about the Road Warrior series of movies. Chris and I would probably disagree on a lot of things and agree on a lot of things about that series. But what do you guys think? What's the best one? What's the least good one? How about that? And I think you're right, Chris. I think a lot of people are going to say Beyond Thunderdome is the least good one.
I had so much hope for it because for me, it's the sequel,
which is probably why you think that it's not very watchable because it was kind of a letdown.
Well, and it's kind of hokey and it's kind of cheesy. And
I submit to you that if the original movie Mad Max was 25 minutes long, it'd be a way better movie. But anyway,
yeah, you don't really need. 45 minutes or an hour's worth of storytelling there in the middle to get to the final conclusion. You know how I know?
Yeah.
Because they summed it all up in Road Warrior at the beginning in 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Yep. Yeah, that's true.
Here's what happened in the last one.
So we had a funny thing happen in the shop the other day, and a representative from Yamaha walked through the door completely unannounced. And it was on a Monday morning, I think. And you know what I thought? I thought it was someone who was coming to a workshop and they got the date mixed up.
Wrong.
Or I thought I put down a date wrong or something. And so this guy walks in and he's a rep from Yamaha. And
representative.
That's rep, right? Yeah.
It just sounds more important if you say
he is a Yamaha representative. And he walked through the front door and I'm like, can I help you? And he's like, yeah, I'm Frank. I'm okay. Can I help you? And yeah. So he said, I'm from Yamaha. And I'm like, wow, that's okay.
All right, baby. Here we go.
So long story, slightly shorter. As of right now, Yamaha is not planning on buying Texas Toast guitars. But we did get a guy come in from Yamaha, for really this kooky reason. Let's take a super chat from Rob, who gives us the thumbs up. Hi, Rob. Chris, give everybody the 30-second elevator pitch on Yamaha and what Yamaha does in the grand scheme of things.
What Yamaha does in the grand scheme of things in the guitar world or in the world?
You have 28 seconds.
Yamaha is the largest manufacturer of musical instruments in the world. In the guitar world, they are the kings of the under $500 acoustic by a large margin. They also sell quite a bit of other acoustic guitars. Their electrics do pretty well worldwide, not so good in the U.S. They don't seem to care about that.
What do you suppose that is? It's because
I think there
are
some it's
big
an uphill battle.
There's some big name companies in the United States. So. It's hard to break into that market.
Willing to fight that fight any more than they are.
Yeah. I don't think that everybody realizes just how massive of a company, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
even if
you guys might know, but
even if you don't talk about motorcycles snowmobiles
Mhm.
and pianos
Mhm.
and all that stuff. They're Titanic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They're
Who do they own
gigunda.
now that in addition to Yamaha?
So you told us Ampeg, Line
Ampeg,
6,
yeah.
some others.
Mhm. Yeah, I
How's
don't
that?
remember. No, yeah. But yeah, they kind of bought up, what is it?
Yeah. Guild.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Cordoba.
Okay.
I don't know Cordoba other than
I don't either.
they owned Guild, and that's how they got that whole thing.
So what would you
Yeah.
think if this did not happen? But what would you think if a company like a great big company like Yamaha said, you know what, we want a boutique brand? I mean, this
Yeah.
is not something that would be outside the realm of possibility, right?
Yeah.
We want a boutique brand, and we want to buy, I don't know, Cower or Sullivan or what's the one Ike's buddies?
Dunnable.
No, that's not the one I'm thinking of. But
Bello, Bella.
yeah, or Texas Toast. I mean, what if? I mean, it's
Notice
not.
how I couldn't remember any of those names of companies, but I remember Texas Toast.
Yeah, well, we were going to get to that because we want to talk about that stuff tonight too. But that would, I'm sure. Here's what would probably happen: they would buy a company, and a lot of what made that company neat would probably mostly go away.
Possibly. This is very similar to large mass beer producers buying small independent craft breweries.
I am a fan of macro brews. Micro brews, not so much.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then, only usually later to sell them off.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know that if you're at all familiar with the Hamer story, that's kind of what happened with Hamer. There are people that say, and you guys probably know more than me, that there are people that say that so-and-so music instrument company bought Hamer and just kind of killed it for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think they're at the end probably. I think there was a lot of stuff leading up to that. There's actually a pretty good documentary on Hamer. It's part 1 of 2 that I saw
on my list of things that I need to watch,
and it's pretty good. And it's and I think it's the same old story. We don't have quite enough money, and somebody comes in and says, "Hey, I got some money. You want some money?"
Yeah,
and they go, "Ooh, yeah."
I think that it is more likely that Doug Santaniello and or Doc and or one of the guys who's here, Mike Beckloff, buys Texas Toast guitars. I mean, it's more likely that would happen.
Yeah, especially because Doug wants his name over the door, and that's the only way it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Doug Santinello's Texas Toast guitars.
So Doug's driving out here right now. He's on the road. I saw he was on Ike's show, and he was saying he was driving out. So we're going to see Doug here just a little bit. Not tonight, I don't think, but no. So yeah, but I mean, like, imagine, I think what happens is companies get this influx of cash and think, gosh, imagine all the good stuff we could do. And I think what happens is the neat kind of funky, cool vibe of everything has to go away because I'm going to use the term bean counter, not because I'm trying to be derogatory, but you get accountants involved and no, we can't work like that anymore. And you get people who say, you guys need to hire somebody to do this, that, and the other. And it like I said, a lot of the kind of funky, kitschy, cool things about a company like ours would go away, I think. I've seen it when our friend Jim Fuller sold Rifle Dynamics, and he's like, well, yeah, they wanted me to do stuff that was more bottom line oriented. Well, and he didn't want to do that.
You have to start making the exact over and over. You have to, first of all, you have to ramp up production no matter what.
Yeah, if someone comes in and starts throwing cash around.
Yeah. Well, we make 4 guitars a month or whatever it is. They're like, no.
Yeah.
We can that.
Yeah.
Um,
Is there any example of something like that happened to a small company where it worked out really well?
Actually worked out well for them.
I don't know the answer.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me mull on that for a minute.
Van Shank Guitar sent us a super chat and said, buying TTG one super chat at a time, ad free. God bless you, my friend. So I'm going to the comment section here to talk about what's happening. Jay says, been on both sides of buyout several times, and the character of the smaller company always goes away.
Especially if they lose the primary people.
And that's probably what would happen almost immediately.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'd be up. Yeah, partying.
Oh, you'd be gone way before. Yeah.
You got to stay here 2 weeks, Chris.
Yeah. Hat Mike says, if Yamaha comes in with cash, take the money and run. Joy can open a new guitar company following year and a lot more funding for the cool stuff. Well, I would be, again, Yamaha is not buying Texas Toast guitars that we know. That there's no plans for them to do that we know.
Could have been a sneak mission coming in.
I doubt it.
I mean,
could
his story sort of held up.
Yeah.
As far as why he was here.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
I know. Devin says, go ahead.
Oh, it was my hot collection of used up 60s Japanese guitars.
Probably.
I think that's what pushed them over the edge.
Lefty says most buyouts are death to a company, whether they outright kill it off or not. Driddle says pull a Grover, Leo, etc., then sell, then start a new company. Curtis says only Gretsch seems to still be doing all right.
If you talk to Fred Gretsch Jr., the third, whichever Gretsch is the head guy, he is adamant that Gretsch is a separate company from Fender.
Yeah, he really is. Yeah. That
Custom
is funny.
shops in the same building, but separate.
Yeah. Butch says, how much could you get for Chris? I'm going to say
$250,
$350 anyway. Richard Ryan, our good buddy Richard, says Yamaha bought a unpronounceable thing piano some time ago. My understanding is that they're still around and that they still make great and super expensive pianos. That's cool. Mm-hmm. Dylan said it just happened with Mesa Boogie. Okay, yeah. As you guys probably remember, Gibson bought Mesa Boogie, and I haven't heard after that. I hadn't heard any single thing about Mesa Boogie.
The CEO or the president or whatever,
the guy who was there from the beginning, the inception with the shed with all the speakers holes cut in it.
Maybe yeah. I don't know. They let somebody go. Apparently things aren't going as well for them as they thought. The funny thing is they came out with those, I think, too cool. I thought they were cool. Nobody else thought they were cool. Mesa Boogie amps, and they made a big splash. And everybody hated on them. They had two different amps.
Okay.
Both, I thought pretty neat.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of gear lust. I don't have a lot of amp lust. Mm-hmm. But I thought
plus you don't like Mesa Boogie.
No, it's not that I don't like. I don't know Mesa Boogie.
Okay, here's
I've never. So
here's what I know though.
I settled on an amp brand a long time ago, and I'm good with that amp brand.
I know, but if I said, Chris, you have my Mesa Boogie or this new Fender all tube something, you would choose the Fender every time. And so would a lot of other guys who come in here. Now, in fact, Anthony Russo scoffed at my Boogie.
Well, he had a 66 Fender Deluxe reverb. You know how I know?
But because you
told us.
Yeah, okay.
I brought my 66 Fender Deluxe reverb.
Cool.
Yeah, okay.
Dan says any good rep always checks out the major players. Thank you so much,
that's
Dan.
Basically, I don't even know that it was that. We show up on Google as Guitar Shop.
I think,
so he went by and he actually was making the rounds because he stopped by another local.
Also, so Zed wants to know, so what did the Yamaha rep want? As it turns out, we got some good information from him, not about Yamaha, but ways about kind of some ideas to help us sell guitars.
Yeah, he hung out for quite a while. Mm-hmm. I mean, it seemed, it wasn't an hour, but he was here for a good 30 or 40 or 50 minutes. And just shooting the breeze and talking about stuff. And it was funny because he's like, Denver is an odd market. And I always try and, get a handle on it every time I come to town. and which isn't very often. He has a big territory, as most reps do.
Yeah.
And I thought that I could send him over here.
I thought so too.
And it turned out not to be the case, but he knows Ike. And was glad to hear that we know Ike as well.
What I think he wanted, okay, if you ask me what he really wanted when he came in the door, I think he told us a couple things. He said, I love the name. I love what you guys have. I love the way your website looks. That's all joy, by the way.
Yeah.
I love the way you guys like market stuff. I would like to see you guys. I love your guitars. I would like to see you sell more guitars. And I'm like, and the first thing he said when he walked in was, do you have your guitars? Do you have your guitars in shops? And I said, well, we have some at Flipside Music, the great American guitar store, and we have some at Matt's Guitars in Virginia. I have sent an email to Matt. I have not heard anything back from him. I have no idea whether or not our guitars are popular there or not.
The first one that Rob's Hog brought to him, they liked that one quite a bit.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I do know that Ike's store, there are a handful of people that go in there and ask specifically for our guitars. But I think that I don't think that they have that market right now for $2,500 guitars that say Texas.
Well, I don't think they chase that market.
Not right now.
Yeah.
And you know, Ike and I were actually talking about that a little bit. And who knows, maybe one day that'd be something that, you know, but it's hard for us to get guitars that we can just leave somewhere and make 30, 40, 50% less on than we make by selling direct to you guys. So
big cash infusion from a big company
like Yamaha. Yeah. So I said to Frank, I said, well, what can you help us sell guitars? He said, I can't because I work for you. He's paid by Yamaha.
He's paid by Yamaha. He's not an independent rep. There are independent reps that have a variety of product they take around. Oh, I have guitars. Oh, I have, you know, whatever else. Yeah. And they try and sell that stuff everywhere they go. Yeah. And then there's a guy that has all the ultimate stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the Gator rep. No. SKS. That's the brand.
Did he say? I don't remember that. Okay. Yeah. I don't.
No. Okay. No, he didn't say anything, but that's the way it works. Is and then I picked up, you know, so and so. We they got a great program.
No, we are not going to start making motorcycles as well.
He said that is, you know, it's the same name, same logo. Completely different company. They are not attached in any way other than name and logo.
No, there's one guy who's making motorcycles today, and then he's making timpani drums the next day.
Go bend some French horns over there. Yeah.
So
that's the way everybody in Japan talks.
Yeah, they do. So Yamaha is not buying Texas Toast guitars.
No.
There's no offer to buy Texas. No one is buying Texas Toast guitars. The company. Like some of you are buying the guitars.
Yes, a genuinely nice guy that was very curious about what we do and was happy that we are having some success.
One of the things that I was talking, do you see I have a new Fitbit.
Ooh,
do you know how many guitars I sanded today? You know how many miles of sanding I did today?
Yeah.
So one of the things that we talked with him about, though, was we are going to the Rocky Mountain Archtop Festival. That's in like 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks from tomorrow, I think.
Yes, it starts 2 weeks from tomorrow.
And it is put on by our good buddy Pete at Hendrickson Amps. Pete Hendrickson at Hendrickson Amps. And what did you think when I told you how much it costs to exhibit there? Or when I said, "Hey, Chris, I want to do this Rocky Mountain Archtop."
Well, so I was standing there when you said, "Hey, Pete, we have an extra table."
Yeah.
And Pete said, "Yeah, I sure do." And he said, "Well, how much is it? And sign me up." I think that's basically the way you said it.
I basically left myself no out.
Either way, yeah. And he said the price, and I went, "Okay." Well, I mean, I didn't really know what. I have no idea how big this thing is. I know
I don't either
for a bunch of years. It seemed a little expensive. But I do know the venue. It's a nice place.
Okay. Is it big?
I don't know that.
Okay.
But it's not Cervantes.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you that. There will probably be lighting.
Okay.
So yeah, it seemed a little expensive. I have no real frame of reference anymore.
Okay.
For that stuff. So we've done NAMM, we've gone to NAMM, we've talked about NAMM, but all of that is long since left my head.
NAMM was summer NAMM was pretty expensive.
Well, and it got more expensive
yeah.
the more you were there. Well, do you want electricity?
That's another $130.
Yeah. Okay. You want chairs?
Yeah.
No, we brought our own.
Yeah, it was expensive, and you got to go there, and you got to stay there.
Well, yeah,
and you
but
got
just the show itself, and in comparison, I was like, I don't think it's that. It's not more.
Yeah.
And
frankly, summer NAMM was not at all like regular winter NAMM.
Way cheaper than winter NAMM.
Yeah.
Or as they call it now, NAMM. But for us, that's the other thing is, we're local. So, it's just the cost of the show. Okay.
Fortunately, we don't have to stay somewhere.
Yeah, but so that seems like a little bit more of a shocker. When we went to Nashville, it was everything else really seemed like the bigger part of it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Plus we had a benefactor that paid for the
actual. We had a lot of benefactors.
Well, yeah, I meant for the show, one person paid for that, as far as I know, and then we did a thing, and everybody else chipped in, and we were able to do it. So
there are a lot of people who are talking about Texas Toast Guitars is confusing. They're probably new people that don't really understand. And I have made a video of why Texas Toast Guitars is the name of the company. We have changed the name of the workshops from Texas Toast Guitars Workshops to 5280 Lutherie Workshops. Because what happens is people go, where in Texas are you? I think I want to come to one of your workshops. Now, I don't ever assume that anything is anywhere. Like, for example, Brooklyn's Finest Pizza, 2 miles down the road. I don't know. I don't have to ask.
We have Chicago's Finest here.
We have a Chicago, but
we also have
so I don't wonder about that. Texas Toast is something that is easy to remember, and it's easy to spell, and it's easy to pronounce. And none of you will ever forget the name. It's dumb, but it's memorable. It's easy to spell, and nobody else had that name. Okay. Now, juxtapose that to I want you guys to go after this is over, and when you're goofing around tonight, after Dylan's show, I want you to go check out the Rocky Mountain Archtop Festival's website, and I want you to look at the guitars that are on there, and they all look amazing. They all look absolutely stunning. And I can't for the life of me remember any of the people who are going to be there. Not because they're not memorable, but just because it's somebody's last name. I have a hard time with names.
It has to be a last name that isn't Jones Smith, It has to be, and then those get hard to remember, and there's nothing necessarily to remember them by. Texas Toast, at the end of the day, even if you think it's a stupid name, you at least remember it, right?
And you don't go, how do you spell that? Is there a silent T?
No, a G or a C in there. Well,
no one does that.
Yeah.
So that's why the name is Texas Toast. Plus, I grew up in Texas, and I think that Texas has a lot of famous guitar players. And maybe, how about this? Texas has just as many famous guitar players as any other state. Because, every time I say somebody will name some famous guitar player from Vermont or somewhere.
From Podunk.
So anyway.
Who doesn't live in Podunk anymore.
Now everybody lives there. So anyhow.
So what are the three major music cities right now?
I would imagine New York, Chicago, Tennessee, or California,
I would say
Illinois,
Nashville.
Did you say city or state?
City.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you think LA,
Nashville, Tennessee,
okay,
and Austin, Texas.
Really?
I would think so. Yeah.
New York seems like an awfully.
Oh yeah, New York. So maybe 4. But anyway, yeah.
And you don't think Chicago?
No.
Okay.
No, I think everybody leaves Chicago as soon as they can.
Okay.
But anyway, lots and lots and lots of people. And Texas is huge, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's big.
Yeah. Oh boy, there's a lot of really excellent comments I'm not going to read here. So anyway, Chris, let's talk a little bit about the Rocky Mountain Archtop Festival after we take a super chat from Dylan, who says, naming stuff is harder than making it. I struggled with my name and it was me, but can you imagine McCurchy pickups? Dylan, I got to tell you,
well,
I still can't remember what Steve at Maximum Guitar Works last name is. I still don't know. And I don't know how to spell Dylan's last name. I don't know. I said right here, but I don't, I don't know.
I might be able to, if I wrote it down, I could visualize it, but you're right.
Spelling is not my strong suit. Some people it is, but it's not mine. So I had to come up with a name that I thought was easy to remember, easy to spell, and wasn't taken already. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And really, yeah, you didn't want Flaherty guitars. You didn't want, hey, my name's Matt, here's my guitars.
No, Flaherty guitars was
guitars. That's lame.
No.
Yeah, Denver. Yeah.
I get it. There's a lot of people who are like, you need to change your name. You need to. What I can tell you is that the guy from Yamaha said, whatever you do, don't ever change your name. The name of the company is excellent. Let people be confused. And especially when it's a guitar that we're shipping, well, who cares where it comes from?
Yeah.
If you guys want, I'll ship it to my sister in Amarillo and she'll then drop ship it to you.
Yeah.
It'll cost you an extra $50, but then it'll come from Texas.
I'm trying to think of something in the guitar world, and there's a bunch, and it's usually Asian made stuff that's made to look like it's US made, or that it comes from from the US.
Yep.
And names, and it's okay. Yeah. It's not. It's like Ibanez.
Yeah.
That's a very, very Spanish name. Do you know why they named it Ibanez?
Sounds Spanish.
It sounds Spanish, and they were making classical guitars.
Yeah.
That's so fucking confusing. Holy shit. Wait, you mean they're making classical guitars, but they're making them in Japan and naming them after some place in Mexico or Spain?
Did you know that that at Roberto Venn, not everyone knows this. I'm gonna let you guys in. I'm gonna say
yes, I did know, but go ahead.
I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret about Roberto Venn School of Lutheran. When I went there in the 80s, John Roberts, he's the Roberto, by the way, of Roberto Venn, was this really funny older guy. Like your grandpa, but really, gosh, he was always saying, crazy stuff, funny guy. And he decided that he wanted to make classical guitars too. And he thought if he changed his name from John Roberts to Juan Roberto, he would sell more classical guitars. And so his name of his guitar company was Juan Roberto Guitars. And that's where the Roberto Venn, that's where Roberto in Roberto Venn comes from. John Roberts was absolutely not Spanish or he was John Roberts, and old white guy. So anyway,
the same could I think it was 1-to-1 swap with Bernie Rico and DC Rich, right?
Yeah.
Right at the same time. He said, whoa, we can't have this much appropriation.
Maybe I don't
trade 1-to-1. Okay, Bernie, you're now BC.
Mike Beckloff, we did not send him a Challenger. But what are we talking about? Are we talking about the we talking about
Matt's guitars?
We did. We sent Matt's guitars a couple of Challengers.
We sent him a trem and a non-trem
level 2. Some really excellent looking level 2 flame maple top. They're both identical, one trem and one hardtail. So
Yep.
So let's talk about, Dylan says Steve's name is actually Maximum Steve. And it is.
Yeah. We should just start calling him Max.
Guitar Doc 71 says, video idea. What is involved in taking my drawing of a guitar and have that I've created and create tooling up to the turning the guitar so that they can create it over and over and over again? How long did it take you? That's a great one, actually. And Chris and I were actually
how many videos do we have now?
I don't know.
600?
Yeah.
So probably 300 videos to get to that point.
No. We were actually just talking about that today, about the guitar that we're going to be taking to the Rocky Mountain Arch Top Festival. When do people get to see that one, Chris?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. It's the reveal for tomorrow?
Okay.
And we're going to be talking about that guitar and some of the neat things that you guys might be able to guess what it is.
Maybe this would be a good time to pull out number one.
Let's hold that for, let's make the video.
But let's do that with those two guitars.
Good idea. Okay, that's a great idea.
Because in a lot of ways, they look like the same guitar. But they're very, very different.
Very, very different. That's a great idea, Chris.
It is. I know.
Okay. So, but we were talking about that, like how long it took and all the subtle changes and how many we had to make before we landed on, like, because you could make one or 10 and then go, now I got it down. I know what I like. I'm going to mass produce these. And then you start mass producing, and then a bunch of stuff kind of happens when you start mass producing that you're like, gosh, the volute doesn't quite look like I want it to. And now I ordered 10. What do I do? Or when I'm making this guitar and I go to spray sealer on this and it hits exposed rosewood, the sealer doesn't stick. And now what do I do? You have to figure. So there's a lot of little things that you have to kind of figure out.
Well, and you know, when you're like in a production thing, like say you're making 4 guitars, you're making 5 guitars. If one of those guitars doesn't go well, it stops the whole line.
Yeah.
You can't. Well, you could just keep marching on with the other 4 if you're making 5, and then something bad goes wrong, and pretty soon you're down to 1 guitar. Yeah. So you have to figure out processes so that every guitar can successfully clear each hurdle that it goes over.
Yeah.
To get to the finish line.
How many challengers would you guess? Tonight. Would you guess we did before we even had templates made by Steve?
Oh. I don't know,
50 or 100.
I was going to say 40 or 50. So
I mean, I would bet you it would be at least 40 or 50.
Yeah,
and maybe more.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
and
because I know we had runs where there were at the end there were 7 or 8.
Yeah,
challenges.
Oh yeah,
you do that a couple times, and that's a lot of guitars. You do it a couple of times, that's 16 guitars.
John Own 16 Can't sent us a super chat and says, "Hey guys, what's the name of the color on the double cut second from the right as we see it? How about the 4th one from the right?" So I think he's talking about the purple. You want to grab that one? Let's talk a little bit about the PRS workshop that's coming up. I think he wants the one second from. Purple? Yeah. John, I hope this is the one you're talking about. We're going to get to all of them here. So anyway, on Monday, we are having our inaugural Ultimate PRS style workshop. And we did 3 guitars that could kind of give people an idea of what they could build. This one is, if you go back and watch some of the older videos, this one had what you call it, a butcher block top. It was multiple.
Yeah, this was I think prototype number 1, right?
Number 3. The leopard one is number 1, actually.
Okay.
And this one has a butcher block top, a mahogany back and maple neck. But the top was not stain grade, it was paint grade. It's maple and it's thick, but it was probably 5 or 6 pieces of maple glued together. And so we wanted to do something. It's still got reveal binding, but it was gonna be intergalactic, right?
Yep.
And when we were painting Doug's toast right, you had a bunch of candy purple, and I said, Chris, what would happen if we sprayed candy purple over the intergalactic? And you said, well, actually, it might be kind of neat.
Yeah, this is plum crazy. This is Dodge plum crazy.
Over black.
Over black.
So it's kind of like eggplants.
Yeah, yeah. Metallic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's purple. It looks kind of just slate here in our screen, but it's got a purple thing going on.
Yeah, it's really excellent. Yeah,
it's like if you could make a purple leather jacket.
It is. Yeah,
yeah, it's nice.
So this one's getting P90s, and so here's what'll happen. This is one of the prototype guitars, and this one has P90s. It's going to get a wraparound bridge, and something will happen to it. Now this one here is actually prototype number 2. And it is, Gary says pickups for this one should be there on Wednesday. This one here is mahogany back with a mahogany neck. And it is a, I don't know how much flame or quill. I guess it looks like fiddleback maple. And I know for a fact that 50% of the people walking in here for ultimate PRS style guitar build workshop are going to say to me, I want a blue one. Mm-hmm. So we kind of started experimenting with blue. Now, one thing that you guys have to know is that this is not a hand applied stain.
No.
I know you guys have all watched Paul Reed Smith's videos. I know that that's how they do it on some guitars. What you may not know, or what you may not remember from watching those videos, is that it takes those guys about 6 months to get really, really good at hand-applied stain top guitars. We have 5 days. We're going to make really cool guitars, but they ain't going to have hand-applied stain. Okay? So, anyway. Jay says, hey, Matt, reminder, did you send my drawings yet? Also, don't forget you owe me an invoice. Jay, I have not done either one of those two things. I have not sent your drawings and I have not forgotten, but Joy is on the case. So we will make sure that it gets done. I apologize, sir. What do you think about these PRS style?
I think they're actually pretty neat. I was really happy with the whole process.
You want to show off the
sure.
leopard one while we're at it? So this is one that's now this one had like 100 zillion pieces on the top and back. Okay.
Oh yeah, this is the one. Yeah, this is the one with all the multi-piece.
Yeah. So back. It has a alder, ash, poplar, all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm. It was all mahogany. Very well done,
yeah,
but
it was just
had a bunch of black or purple mm-hmm. poplar, and yeah,
you can even see some of it in the pickup cavities.
Yeah, a little bit.
And so and the top had like a zillion piece maple top. Another that butcher.
I thought it was just really, really plain.
No, it had a whole bunch. You can see the lines.
1, 2, yeah. Okay.
In here, you can probably see from the back. Mm-hmm. But this one also has reveal binding and yeah.
Okay.
So we painted the back black. We left the neck natural. And of course the top is Paul Stanley leopard print, which is super excellent. Dylan says there's some cool pickups coming for this. Outstanding.
Good.
So anyway, Sean, I think you might be right. I think that the leopard print might be the neatest of the neat.
I think the blue one, if you saw it, actually all three of them are really good. Yeah. As always, you can't see the flame very well in the pictures, but it's
really spectacular.
Quite nice.
Yeah. Dan,
everybody comes into the shop and they're like, "Oh man, I watched the videos, but it doesn't really do these guitars justice."
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we know. That's what we keep telling everybody is go to the website, look at our pictures. Those do them justice.
Yeah.
Or come by the shop.
Someone says Orianthe would play 10 out of 10. That's cool. So Butch says, I like the red one on the left. Looks familiar to me. That's probably
on
this
left,
one.
That one there. Yep.
This is an excellent one, Butch.
Yeah, that is the same color that we used on Butch's.
Oh, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So let's go back to the guys again. I want you to check out the Rocky Mountain Arch Top Festival. There's a picture of one of our guitars that we're bringing.
Yeah.
It's not one that we're going to be bringing, but there's a picture of one of our guitars. Mostly because there's no pictures of the guitars that we're bringing. They're kind of show guitars.
Mm-hmm. So the one that we if Mike Beckloff had left his here for an extra month,
he already left it here for a long time.
He used it, yeah.
Speaking of Mike Beckloff, he sent us a super chat and says, for the ad-free fund. Thank you so much, Michael.
So basically, we recreated Mike Beckloff's level 4 Deluxe.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, that's what we're going to take because everybody loves that guitar.
And it's the guitar that I think it's the guitar that if we could only make one guitar for the rest of my days, I would like to have it.
Yeah, and Mike left that one here for a while because he knew he was coming out to class and he has other guitars. It's not like he needed it right away, and he's a patient man. And so it was here.
He had a level 3 like that.
Yeah.
And
well, but this one, and it stayed here, and it was like, whoa, look at that. That thing's rad. That thing's really cool. So then we sort of knew, oh yeah, this is really neat. Because Matt and I can love stuff, but if nobody else likes it, then what's the point? But everybody loved that guitar. And then we signed up for the Rocky Mountain Arch Top Festival.
And it occurred to us we should probably have something with an arch top.
Yeah.
Because the original plan was let's take a bunch of icons.
Take a bunch of icons, which aren't arched, but they are very, very hollow.
Yeah.
And and then we decided, well, really, we should probably show off,
We are going to be taking an icon.
Yeah, we'll take an icon. We'll take that level for deluxe, and I wouldn't mind taking a level 2 that we have.
Yeah.
To show off.
And who knows?
And it's a small booth. I think it's a small table.
We can't load the booth up with all these awesome guitars.
No,
we have 50 guitars.
Yeah. We're gonna what we lack in quality, we're gonna make up for in volume. No, we want to bring nothing but nice stuff and nothing but stuff we want to make more of. So,
Curtis says y'all need a website gallery on the website to see the difference between the stock paint versus 73 paint. There are lots of gallery shots on the website, Curtis, but there's not a page that just says gallery.
Yeah, we could have the difference between, but really it's super simple. Level 1s get a durable thin finish, which is an open pore finish.
And if you go to the level 1 page, there's a bunch of pictures of level 1s.
Every other guitar that we do, level 2, 3, 4, 4+, 5. We don't have a 5.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah, that's why I said it.
Yeah.
Everything else gets the 73 finish, and that's a full sealed car fender.
Yeah.
With our proprietary 73 finish.
Yeah. And if you go to the level 2, 3, and 4 pages and just click on that, there's a gallery of all the bunches of guitars on there that you can have a look at.
So, and the only guitar that's available with the durable thin finish is the level 1. If you order a level 4, it's 73 or gloss.
Now let me ask you this: if you said
as well,
if people forget about this, they're like, I don't see any gloss finishes. I want gloss finish. Great. Seal Beach Mike is getting a gloss finish on the guitar that we're building for him because he was willing to pay for the gloss finish. Not everybody wants to pay for it when they hear how much it costs. Frankly, though, I think the 73 finish is the finish that I want to put on all the guitars.
Yeah, I think it's really, really cool. I like the way
coincidentally, it's easier to put on.
Well,
how about this? It takes less work. That's why it costs less money than gloss, right?
Yes. I like the way the neck feels. It's vastly superior to a shiny neck. I like the overall softness of
I do too.
The look. It's not hard. It's not plastic. It's It's very, very nice. And guys will go, well, if you use nitro, it won't look like plastic. Yes, it will.
Yes,
if it's
it will.
well done nitro, it will look like plastic.
Mm-hmm. Bob Potter sent us a super chat and says, keeping it ad free. Thank you so much, Bob. Let's talk a little bit about why.
Is that the air compressor farting?
Yeah, I think so. All of our live videos are going to remain ad free, thanks to the support of viewers like you. However, what we have noticed, and I don't know if you guys were here when we talked about this yesterday, but what you might have noticed is that the analytics for regular pre-recorded videos tanked when we made them ad free.
And I think that took everything else down too, because I noticed yesterday's live thing that we did, and we usually don't do a Wednesday live thing. It's doing pretty well.
Yeah,
and I don't think it's because it has the word SolarRes in the topic.
Maybe,
it could be, but it's doing. I would say
today's live feed is doing great,
abnormally well for a Wednesday, not normally scheduled. Live video of us.
Just
talking
shooting
about
the breeze.
Poor filler.
So there's something. We're discovering that some videos need to be monetized. Here's another thing I'm discovering.
Page at the top of the
YouTube will add in the contract. It says we reserve the right to put ads wherever we want on whatever we want. So they'll monetize it anyway. So
everybody's doing that. I can't hardly watch anything anymore that's not ad. Even stuff that I paid for.
Yep. So Scott says I actually feel like gloss finishes look cheap. Scott, I couldn't agree more. I
can.
I tell you, we don't put the 73 finish on everything because I don't like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love it. And when you first one you did, it was on the run of all of the TV Yellow Challengers with Dylan P90 pickups that we did. And we sold a bunch of them. What was the first thing I said when you did that? Do you remember?
I really like it, and I think everything should have this finish on it.
Yep.
And that was early on. We've actually improved it. A little bit. So yeah. I think it's cool. I like the way it looks. It has a kind of an old school vintagey look. If you look at a vintage guitar, a truly vintage guitar, and it's shiny beyond belief, somebody else has gone back and buffed that guitar again.
And here's another thing:
old paint don't stay like that.
And I refuse to add a bunch of beat up marks on the guitar. I don't like the relic thing.
That's a completely different.
I hope that's fading from. I know a lot of guys like it, but I'm not a fan.
If you look at truly, under the bed closet classic guitars, they are not shiny. They do not look like car fenders.
Dylan says, the way I see it, I have lots of shiny guitars. I only have 2 with the 73 finish. Thank you, Dylan. See, Dylan gets it. Dylan knows what's up. Guys, we've got so much good stuff that we want to talk about before that's coming up on the horizon before we turn it over to Dylan and his lovely wife, Leslie. First of all, Monday is the inaugural Ultimate PRS style workshop. You guys who've signed up for the first and second one, you are going to be so stoked at what these guitars are going to look. Just to give you an idea, you know what I mean? When you put the Hipshot bridge on them, or I know Dan's getting one with a wraparound. I think Blue's getting one with a wraparound. Guys, they look so awesome. He's coming to the second one.
Okay.
Cool. Let's take another super chat real quick from Doc, who says,
I knew Dan was coming. That's why I didn't express dismay when I heard, Dan's name.
Doc says, happy Thursday. I'm non-judgmental. I like all the finishes, but the 73 is pretty special. Thank you, Doc. It's something that means a lot to us because we didn't just do it because I don't know. It took us a long time to get where they are. We want. Anyway, and thank you for the super chat, my friend. So guys, coming to the PRS workshop, you are getting something really, really cool. And I cannot wait to have you guys come out and make guitars with us. Following the second PRS workshop, we are going immediately over over to the Rocky Mountain Archtop Festival.
Mm-hmm.
I have said it before, and I will say it again, Chris. I will put our guitars up against anybody's for quality, craftsmanship, sonic properties, finish, anything. I will put our guitars up against anyone's. The nice thing about the Rocky Mountain Archtop Festival is, like us or not, people who go there have bucks. So, yeah, I think that we are attempting to appeal to archtop guys, jazz guys. I think they have more money than like rock. I can't afford, a Texas Toast guitar.
And you are a rock guy.
And I'm
you're making assumptions.
Based
on 20 years of doing
based
this.
on 20, yeah. But what I do know is we are probably one of, if not the lowest priced guitar at the Rocky Mountain Archtop Festival.
Yes.
Even our highest priced thing is probably the lowest priced thing at that show.
Yes. Even among some Chinese import brands,
you think so?
That are going to be there. I know so.
Okay. What do some of those guys sell for?
More than ours.
Wow. Okay. Our stuff's all made in America. You got to see.
By us.
Yeah, by us.
Yeah.
You got to see the flyer that Joy made too, the handout. It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's like it's Icon on one side and Challenger on the other. It's killer. So I'm really, really excited to show off our guitars to some people who might not have seen them yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they'll join us for these things too. Yeah. So
maybe buying one of our guitars is like buying a beef and cheese stick at Walmart for some of these guys.
Oh, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. It's a really weird way to say it.
And,
but
and like, oh, that seems fun. I'll get one of those too. Yeah. Ooh, I love those. Yeah.
Like I said, I can't wait to see the craftsmanship at the show. And Chris, I'll put our stuff up against anybody's. One of the things that's happening very, very soon is the build a tube amp workshop. We've got 2 of them coming up this year.
Mm-hmm.
One is the 59 Tweed 15 watt. What is it called?
5E3.
5E3 combo kit.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So there's spots open for that. So basically, what you build is you build a really cool Fender. Was it Deluxe? Tweed
Deluxe. Yeah.
Thing.
Uh-huh.
Now Sunday's
Single
video.
12, 15 watts.
Yep. Sunday's video is going to be Chris and I showing you what you built, because I don't think people go, what can I really make?
Yeah. What's involved?
This thing is so cool. We haven't even opened the boxes yet, but we've been talking with the guy who's teaching the workshop. His name's Eric, and he's from Swantronics. Mm-hmm. He's Pete Henriksen's amp guru guy, and
he's lead engineer.
Lead engineer.
The name that they gave him.
He's going to be teaching that workshop. There's spots open for that one. That's in October. It's all on the website. You can find it under workshops. Then in November, we're building a 45 watt Marshall head, a plexi head. Sorry, you probably can't say Marshall. And everybody who we talk to this about is like, wow, that sounds so cool. What do I get to keep it? Yeah, of course you get to keep it. What do I get to do with it? You get to make whatever you want. You're basically building this custom wired amp.
Yeah, with the help of somebody that knows what they're doing.
That's right.
Not you buying the kit and running through all the things and hoping
and maybe it works. Yeah,
that it works. You're going to get walked through this whole thing. Guaranteed. To have something really, really
cool. You will really not fail.
This is like your first day working for Marshall.
Kind of. Yeah.
They're gonna show you the ropes.
And after your second day, you get a free amp.
And then at the end of the second day, you get to take one home with you.
Yep.
And really the overall cost of that in the world of
hand-wired amps, wildly affordable.
Pretty darn economical, and it would be super cool. And I am so excited to finally get to do this myself and play a guitar that I made myself through an amp that I wired myself. How cool is that? I wish I had a set of pickups that I'd made to stick in. Actually, Do I? Yeah, I do have a guitar that I made that has pickups that I made. So
Okay.
that's the guitar I'm going to play.
So if you guys want to build a guitar and wind your own pickups or something, or you want to have Dylan make the pickups for you,
yeah.
The October workshop, we've got a build a classic. It's the build a
Strat
ultimate Strat workshop where you can basically build this with all premium everything, including a unwired pickguard, and then follow that up with the 59 Tweed Deluxe amp building workshop. You could have this thing where like you take this whole setup out and people go, wow, that's awesome. Where'd you get that? And you say, I made it.
Yep.
And they go, what do you mean I made it? You mean I said I made it.
Yeah, I made it. I had a hand in all of this. A matched set.
That's right. Then in November, we've got the Les Paul workshop, Monday through Friday, followed by the Plexi workshop Saturday and Sunday. So you could build a Les Paul set. Yeah. And Zed's doing it. Zed's doing both the Les Paul and
both?
He's doing them both. Yeah.
I hope we don't have to put an Evertune bridge in that Les Paul.
You can do that at home. Yeah. Zed, it's definitely not a printed circuit board on that amp, but I haven't seen the Marshall one yet. Okay.
No,
I know it's not a printed circuit board.
Yeah, it's going to be an eyelet board, a labeled eyelet board. It's going to be as old school as you can get. A big bag of capacitors and resistors and a bunch of transformers, and you'll be like overwhelmed when you open it. You'll be like, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
And then and then Eric will walk us through it.
I'm not going to be there.
And the next thing you know, you'll feel more and more comfortable with it. And the next thing, look, Plexi.
Pretty soon. Yeah. All right. Okay. After that, in December, we're starting our 5280 essential guitar building workshop class. And I believe it's going to be like a 10 workshop thing where you build every single thing from start to finish. So, and you don't use any tools you don't have at home. Okay. Everything that you're going to build, you build with stuff that you can just get. You don't have to have a CNC machine. You don't have to have a pin router. You don't have to,
Deadhead sander.
So the first one in December is next. And I believe Doc is coming out to help us with one that you guys have been asking for, and that's the essential finishing workshop. Now, the cool thing about the essential guitar building workshops is you can do them in order or you can do them out of order, whatever you want. Okay. If you just want to do the neck one, you can do the neck one. If you just want to do bodies, you can do that. If you just want to do paint, you can do that. If you just want to do assembly and setup, you can do that. If you just want to do, we haven't talked to Dylan about coming out and doing pickup winding yet, but we will. And all this stuff. Actually, I talked to him a little bit about it. He might, I don't know if he remembers or not, but the essential guitar building workshops are something we've been wanting to do for a long time. It's just deep diving into really making all of this stuff, and it's going to take a while to do.
Yeah.
And if you want to do them all, you can. If you only want to do some, you can, whatever you want to do.
Yep.
So I'm very, very excited about what's on the horizon, even if it's not Yamaha buying us out. So, anyway, gang, we're going to get out of here so Dylan can go do his thing. I urge you to go over and check out Dylan Talks Tone. Dylan McCurchie and his wife Leslie are going to be taking you home for Thursday, hanging out, having fun for a couple hours, right? If you've got a spare moment, go check out the Rocky Mountain Archtop Festival website. Chris and I are going to be there, and take a look at just some of the amazing stuff that we're going to be really fortunate enough to participate in. There's a lot of really excellent craftsmanship. So,
we're going to go eyeball a whole bunch of expensive guitars.
Yep. So thanks for all the super chats, you guys. Thanks for helping us keep this ad free. The live streams are ad free. Thank you, Jay. I really appreciate it. Thank you, 3J Music. Thank you, Pete. So, guys, we are going to get out of here. I've got to go exercise, and I got to drive out to Maximum Guitar Works tomorrow and hang out with Steve. Because, the other thing that I haven't told you guys about is I'm dropping off the 2x4 guitar to get plecked. And yes, there will be a video. So anyway, we will see you guys on tomorrow for a cool reveal. We'll see you Sunday for something neat. And have a great night, everybody. We'll talk to you next time. There's a lot of